What were your feelings on the election last week?
I would vote for McCain, so I was a little disappointed just to see that was such a landslide when it came to the electoral votes. But I felt like the country was kind of split because the popular vote was definitely pretty close. It was interesting to see how close California actually was because we've been voted Democratic for like forever, and we're actually, I think it was like what, 45, 55?
I think so. It was a lot closer.
Yeah, it was a lot closer than I thought it would have been in California.
So, how do you feel now that Obama is president-elect and he's going to be in office in January? What are your hopes, fears on his presidency?
Well, just like when it goes to the war and his like policy, I mean, just from like interviews I've seen on TV and what I've just like heard, it seems like Obama's. I think he was a little naive in the way he plans to do the war. It seems like what it seemed to me is like after he talked to like the generals and everyone in charge of the war, it seems like he didn't quite understand what the true situation is, and which of course is our government. So we as the people aren't going to necessarily truly know either. So I mean, I assume that he's gonna he should handle it the right way. I mean, just like kind of like fears is just like the tax plan. Just like, I mean, it's a good idea to, try to like, make companies, like, it seems like it would be fair to like tax them more since they're going to make more. But at the same time, so you got to realize that those companies are the ones who are going to supply the lower class with their jobs. And so if they have to cut people off and then lay back, how many people they hire, maybe the lower classes will have to pay less taxes, but at the same time, are we gonna increase unemployment?
Yeah, good points. Good points. What are you feeling on a campus like Cal Poly, where it's just overwhelmingly Obama supporters, especially in California? How do you feel here, or for instance, like in a class, if everyone is pro one candidate and you're not, how do you feel at that point?
It doesn't really bug me that much. I mean, I kind of have my views, understand that with other people have theirs, and so it's like, yeah, I'll listen to them and kind of like try to take in what they feel the situation, how it should be handled. You understand, like, to be honest, McCain wasn't the best, Republican, candidate to begin with, but it was more like, lesser of two evils, I felt. And so, I know there's always, no candidate's perfect, everyone's got their downsides, but it's kind of ultimately up to which one holds your values and which one you believe is going to be, to better, further our, country and keep us stable, especially with the situation we're in.
It's true. A couple more questions. Was it your first time voting, and where did you vote?
It was my first time voting for presidential, but I mean, I voted a couple other times for just like some minor things like governor, that's not really minor, but like, and then I forget exactly what before the governor I voted for, but so I voted a couple times here. I actually voted in Tustin, and it was at it's called a church called Church of the Foothills. So it's just wherever my district is.
So how did you feel after you came out, after voting for president for the first time?
It felt good just to know that my voice was gonna be heard. I mean, I live in California. I pretty much knew, hey, I'll pretty much toss my vote out for McCain, and it's not gonna really matter. But at least I'm giving my vote, saying the way I feel for situations, and on top of that, I got to vote for like the propositions and all that sort of stuff. So my voice is heard there as well.
Are you gonna support Sarah Palin if she decides to run in 2012 for president?
We'll see. I mean, I'd have to look at what the other Republican candidates are, and then choose from there which one. Because we have to do the primaries. What is it again?
Yeah, primaries.
And then just decide who's gonna actually run for Republicans, and then we'll see from there. Just who's running, and then if I feel she's going to be the most qualified and be able to lead our country more than any other Republican candidate, then I'll support her.
All right, we're good. That's all we needed.
So, in the past election, did you vote for a presidential nominee?
Yes, I did.
And would you mind saying who you voted for?
No, I voted for Obama.
Okay. And so, are you happy with the results of the overall outcome?
You mean with overall presidential outcome?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know a lot of people voted for McCain, and that's kind of like, they're like, oh man, we lost. But at the same time, I think Obama's more of a symbol of hope, or I would hope he's a symbol of hope, because you never really know what the president's going to do until they're in office. And since it's turned into a popularity contest for the most part nowadays, then it's kind of really hard to see like what issues they're gonna back, which way they're gonna go on it. Is that good?
Okay. So do you think he's going to be able to initiate all the plans he's been talking about for the last year?
Well, every candidate, I don't think they ever actually pulled through with all their plans. So I think it's going to be kind of whatever he can get away with. You know what I mean? Because of course he has to please the people, but he has to also please the government. So maybe if he got like 50% of what he proposed, then it'd make me happy.
Okay. And was this your first presidential election voting in, or?
No. Let's see. I think I've been voting since I was in college. So I voted for Arnold. I remember that. That was the big one. And then I remember Obama and Bush. I don't know if anybody voted for him.
And if Obama runs again in 2012, are you going to vote for him again?
Now, see, that would depend on what he actually does. His term.